Okay, please be seated, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome. I am Bob Rasmussen, the former dean of the USC Gould School of Law, and now back to being a proud professor of our fabulous students. That's right. Our current dean, Andrew Guzman, sends his best wishes to everyone, graduates, family, and friends. The only thing that could keep him from being here today with us is the fact that his son today graduated from the USC Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences, and Andrew was able to give the degree to his son. So it is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to USC Gould's commencement ceremony for our graduate and international programs. Welcome to the family and friends of our graduates, and thank you for traveling here to share this milestone with us. To the graduating class of 2022, let me begin by saying, congratulations! You have reached this incredible moment for which we honor you today. I and your entire faculty are incredibly proud of what you've achieved, and you deserve all the praise and adulation that we can send your way. Now, I only state the obvious when I remind us that no one has made it to this stage by themselves. Your achievement, graduating from one of the world's most prestigious law schools, has taken hard work from you first and foremost. But it has also taken the support, love, and let's be honest here, sometimes even the forgiveness from those around you who have lifted you up, cheered you, and helped you stay focused on your own success, helping to motivate you when the road seemed almost impossible. This group is wide and deep. It includes your parents, spouses, friends, partners, grandparents, extended family, and for some of you, yes, even your own children. Indeed, there are new children who entered the world during your time in law school and who now truly graduate with you today. Graduates, I would like all of us to acknowledge this community of support, and so I invite you to stand, face your loved ones, and give them a round of applause for all that they have done to help to get you to this place today. Here at USC Gould, one of the things of which we are most proud is that diversity is one of our main pillars. And before us, we have living proof of that. That, looking out, we have students here that come from 41 different countries across 5 of the world's continents. With each of you, you have brought your diversity of knowledge, perspectives, and personal and professional experiences that have enriched the academic environment for everyone around you. Indeed, when I have had the pleasure of teaching you, I have learned as much from you as I hope you've learned from me. So today, as you embark on the next chapter of your lives, I felt it would be fitting to share words of wisdom from different regions of the world. Just as you deepen the learning inside the classroom here through your own unique contributions, in a similar way, we can learn a lot from the ageless lessons of one another's cultures. So let me start first with an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Your Gould education has provided you the training not only to examine problems analytically and excel professionally, but also to be a leader, and to be a leader by working together. Throughout your career, you will be working with others toward a common goal, just as you have done during your time with us. Those who succeed always have the trait to make those around them better. The collaborative ethos that you take away from your time at Gould will position you well to excel in your future endeavors. The next proverb comes from Asia. The scent of a rose stays on the hand of the giver. The scent of the rose stays on the hand of the giver. When I hear this proverb, what it means for me is that an act of generosity can be meaningful, even transformative, for both the one receiving and the one giving. Now, generosity comes in many forms, but one important way is the passing on of knowledge. The classroom experience, whether in person or even more innovative sessions, such as Zoom, is of this form of generosity. We share ideas and experiences with each other, enriching the learning for all of us. Education is truly a collaborative endeavor that leaves the sweet scent of learning on all who participate in it. So I remind you to take that principle and apply it to your future careers, where you will both teach and learn as members of teams wherever you go. The third proverb is from Europe. A quiet conscience sleeps in thunder. A quiet conscience sleeps in thunder. This saying, I think, is very meaningful to a law school community because the rule of law is the best antidote to chaos and disruption. At the end of the day, the goal for the law that we study is to provide a stable structure where ideas can flourish and where justice and peace can be achieved. Sleep that survives thunder. Indeed, at the time right now, when the horror of wars are in full view, it is a good moment for us to reflect about what your choice to study law here at Gould really means. You have chosen to expand your knowledge of the law. You have chosen to deepen your understanding of the peaceful resolution of disputes, reasoned deliberation, and rational argument. Let us all keep the victims of war in our thoughts today. But at the same time, let us, as those who study law, recommit to achieving a world where our weapons are logic, persuasion, and precedent, not force, violence, and power. And our goals are not domination and victory, but truth and justice. That is what your education and your degree truly represent. The final proverb that I want to share with you comes from South America. A person who develops themselves is born twice. A person who develops themselves is born twice. This is a call to continuing the use of tools we have given you to develop your capacity to learn, to work, and to contribute to your community. We have taught you some law, but we have also sought to kindle a fire within you to keep learning, to keep thinking critically, to keep taking control of your own careers, and to keep finding ways to offer your talents to those in need. These are the elements that renew you in the crafting of a meaningful life, and we are so proud today to send you off to pursue them. Now, let me talk a little about the stars of the show, you. Okay? We like to say at USC, we love to brag about our students because you guys make it so easy to do. So today, at this ceremony, we add 653 new members to the Trojan Alumni Network, a new record for the USC Gould School of Law. We are proud to celebrate our residential and online program graduates, including our 20th class of Masters of Laws graduates, 6th class of Masters of Studies in Law, 5th class of LLM in Alternative Dispute Resolution and Master of Dispute Resolution, 3rd class of LLM in International Business and Economic Law, 2nd class, but the first one in person, of LLM in Privacy Law and Cybersecurity, and finally, our inaugural class of Masters of International Trade Law and Economics. Yeah. Collectively, our students have, in addition to earning those degrees, have also earned 588 graduate certificates, furthering their own studies. Now, it is true that each of you traveled a different road to come here to spend time with us at Gould. And similarly, going forward, you will chart your own course. Yet, no matter where in the world you may end up, this place, USC Gould, will always be your home, and we will be your Trojan family. Indeed, you epitomize the phrase that we at USC use to describe our alumni: lifelong and worldwide. Lifelong and worldwide. Your time with us is ending, but your time as being part of us and our community continues. No matter where in the world you end up, I am confident that you will display the 5 traits of a Trojan inscribed on the pedestal of Tommy Trojan, out there, right? Faithful, scholarly, skillful, courageous, and ambitious. And together, we will always fight on. Now, I am delighted to introduce our student speaker from our Master of Studies in Law program, Sandra Montgomery. Sandra is an executive search consultant at Lindar Goebel, philanthropy expert, and certified DEI educator. Her professional background in philanthropy spans academic medicine, higher education, public media, and social services. She is a frequent conference presenter and has served on several professional committees focused on philanthropy and equity. She is a founding co-chair of the Advancement DEI Council at USC, where she previously served as a director within the division. Prior to USC, she led similar teams at National Public Radio and Virginia Commonwealth University. In addition to completing her MLS degree at Gould today with a certificate in Human Resources, Law, and Compliance, she is also the proud alumni parent of a USC and Spelman College grad. A native of Virginia, yeah. Hey, I'm a parent of a USC alum, so that's always worth a clap, yeah. A native of Virginia, Sandra holds a BA from Hampton University and is a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Please welcome Sandra Montgomery.
Thank you, Professor Rasmussen, for that warm welcome. Good afternoon, Trojans. It's truly an honor to stand before you today. To the faculty, staff, honored guests, to those near and far who have taken the time to mark this occasion today, I bring you greetings on behalf of the USC Gould School of Law Graduate and International Program graduating class of 2022. Not far from where we've assembled today, the iconic Tommy Trojan sculpture towers majestically. On its pedestal, you will find 5 adjectives: faithful, scholarly, skillful, courageous, and ambitious. These words embody the qualities of the ideal Trojan, with ringing clarity and resounding conviction. They represent both a mirror and a calling. As we prepare to enter the next chapter of our Gould journey as alumni, let us reflect on these qualities and the value of our remarkable academic training here at the USC Gould School of Law. We are called to be faithful, and indeed, we show up. We participate. We speak up in person and online from our laptops, tablets, or phones. We comment on more than just one discussion post. We exchange ideas and offer collegial support to one another. We are resourceful and go the extra mile, careful to cite and eager to share. We are called to be scholarly, and we excel. We engage with the Constitution and the US Code. We explore legal theories and judicial precedent. We are critical in our interpretation and exacting in our analyses. We are called to be skillful, and we perform. We embrace new ways of thinking and articulating ideas. We have mastered IRAC and the Socratic method. We approach contract drafting and mediation with confidence. We navigate the contours of regulatory compliance and comparative law with skill and tooled acumen. We are called to be courageous, and so we dare. We raise our hands and our voices in affirmation and dissent. We challenge assumptions and opinions, not as advocates for the devil, but as ambassadors for diversity and critical inquiry. Across time zones and generations, we share our personal and professional stories, our anecdotes and lived experiences, and we are better for it. We are called to be ambitious, and we achieve. This experience represents both deferred dreams and new ones. Our collective paths are about forward propulsion. In the words of our newest Supreme Court Justice, it is about perseverance. Amidst global uncertainty, ambition called, and we answered yes. If a word were missing, it would be grateful. And so, on behalf of the class of 2022, thank you. Thank you to Dean Guzman, Dean Call, Dean Shimotsu, and Professor Kadambi. Thank you. Thank you to all the incredible faculty and staff members who have poured so much into the graduate and international programs experience. Because of you, we are able to carry forth the Trojan ideals and show up in the world more capable, more knowledgeable, and more prepared. Thank you to the family members, friends, and loved ones who have cheered us on along the way. Thank you for all you've done and all that you do. And salute to you, the class of 2022. Congratulations, and fight on.
I am now honored to introduce our commencement keynote speaker, a familiar face and Gould alum, John Eno. John is the Chief Diversity Officer at the global law firm Reed Smith, where he leads the firm's efforts to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, both in the firm itself and in the broader legal community. He has been with Reed Smith for more than 20 years and has held a number of leadership roles in the firm. In 2010, he became the first Asian American to serve on Reed Smith's executive committee and senior management team. He also served as the managing partner of the firm's Los Angeles office. And if you think of what he has done at Reed Smith is impressive, just wait to hear what he's done at USC. Here at USC, John, in the fall of 2020, was named president of the USC Alumni Association Board of Governors, and this June, he will take his place as a member of the USC Board of Trustees. At Gould, he offered his insight and expertise as a member of the law school's Board of Counselors. In 2018, he became the first Asian American appointed as board chair. During his service as board chair, he led efforts to support first-generation students and to bolster the career prospects of all of our students. He also served on the USC Asian Pacific Alumni Networks Association Board of Directors for 7 years. There's still more. John has provided pro bono corporate counsel to Ednovate, the charter management organization that oversees USC's hybrid high school and 5 other charter schools in the Los Angeles and Santa Ana area. He also serves on the national board of the 50/50 Women on Boards, an advocacy and educational organization promoting women on corporate boards, and he serves as the chair of the finance committee of the Jonathan Club here in Los Angeles. Please join me in welcoming our friend, John Eno.
Thank you, Professor Rasmussen, for that great introduction. Thank you, everyone. Honored graduates, family, friends, our faculty, staff, fellow alumni, and the entire Trojan family. It's really such an honor for me to be here today. And welcome, graduates, the class of 2022. What an amazing new chapter in your lives. So, 35 years ago, I was sitting in your exact seats in my graduation from Gould. And our commencement speaker that year was Professor Erwin Chemerinsky, who's a real legend in USC law. And now he's the dean of the Bolt School of Law. But I remember so clearly what Professor Chemerinsky told all of us that day is now that you're armed with a law degree and the legal training, you are charged. You all are charged to change the world. I was so inspired by that. You graduates, every single one of you, literally has the power right now to change the world. But if you're like me, 35 years ago, what I was feeling in my chair right there was like, how the heck am I going to change the world? How am I going to make a difference? Especially for me, because I had accepted a job with a big law firm and was planning a career in corporate law. Similarly, some of you may be from a country where changing the world, culturally, you might find it difficult to believe you actually can do that. So for those of you who are planning a career in public interest or pro bono law, I'd say thank you. And I think we all thank you. And for the rest of us, you may wonder, how can I make a difference and change the world without having to join a public interest, pro bono, social service organization? Well, let me tell you first a little bit about me and my background. I'm what they call a Sansei, which is a third-generation Japanese American. And my grandparents immigrated to the US from Japan in the late 1880s. In my grandfather's case, he came to the US to avoid political persecution because he was a journalist and he was writing articles that the government didn't agree with, some of his articles. And during World War II, my parents' generation, some 120,000 Japanese Americans were forced to leave the West Coast by order of the government, sell their businesses, abandon their homes, and for most of them became imprisoned in concentration camps in the most remote and desolate parts of our country. My dad, though, was fortunate enough to not be imprisoned in the concentration camps, and he was able to relocate to Cincinnati, Ohio, because he had a brother-in-law there who was in medical school. And so back then, maybe people don't know this, but if you had a sponsor off the West Coast, somewhere back east, you were allowed to leave the West Coast, and you didn't have to go to the concentration camps. But most people ended up having to go to the concentration camps. But in Ohio, during World War II, my dad achieved his certified public accountant's license, and upon returning to Los Angeles after the war in 1946, he became the first Japanese American CPA here in California. So by the time that I graduated, from USC Law back in 1987, I was very, very fortunate. My dad had, by that point, built a successful CPA practice, and when I graduated, we had a nice house and even had a swimming pool in the back. So, how many folks are taking the bar in a couple months? Just by show of hands. Okay, I don't want to stress you out. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have raised that, right? But anyways, that summer when I took the bar, I was studying for the bar. I remember sitting outside by the swimming pool, literally drinking a beer, finding it kind of hard to soak in the sun and finding it hard to study. I remember my dad opened the door and he came outside and sat by me and he said, "How's it going, son?" And I said, "Well, Dad, it's really tough to try to study here and continue that motivation to study for the bar." And then he told me how he obtained his CPA license, how he studied for the CPA exam. So the house that he was staying back in Cincinnati, there were 4 families, all living under the same roof, all with young children. And so he said that the only time it was quiet enough inside the house to study was when everyone was asleep. So he would go to work, come home, eat dinner with the family, then go to sleep from about 8 o'clock to midnight. And he'd get up at midnight, wake up, study for the CPA exam until sunrise, and then go to work and do that day in and day out over and over again. And from that day, it was not hard for me to study for the bar. So I'm sure many of you can identify with this, right? Either personally, watching your own parents struggle, or because you're inspired by people that came before you. So let me also tell you the story about a man named Sei Fuji. Sei Fuji was born in 1903 in Japan, and he graduated at USC Gould School of Law in 1926. However, because there was a law back then that prohibited citizenship for those who were members of the Mongolian race. Because of this law, he was unable to obtain citizenship, and without citizenship, after graduating Gould, he was unable to acquire a law license. But not to be deterred, for the next 50 years, Sei Fuji worked tirelessly as a champion for immigrant rights, including his work that allowed Japanese Americans to own hospitals, striking down the California Alien Law Act, which was a law that prohibited Asian Americans from owning land in California. And in 1952, that law limiting citizenship for those of Asian descent was held to be unconstitutional, and Sei Fuji was able to become a citizen. In 2017, 63 years after his death, the California Supreme Court decided unanimously to admit him to the bar and grant him a law license posthumously. And that effort was spearheaded by many people, including a USC Gould alum Sid Kanazawa, who I had the great fortune to work with during my time prior to going to law school, and was always a great role model and mentor to me. So I never met Sei Fuji, but I had the privilege of being a friend, a mentee, and looking up to Sid Kanazawa as a role model. So why do I tell you these stories? I guess it's pretty important too. I tell you these stories because what I'm trying to tell you is find your motivation. Find your motivation and you can change the world. What is your motivation? To help others? To advance a cause you believe in? To make a lot of money? Well, let me just suggest, if your sole focus is to make a lot of money, you'll never find satisfaction. I'm sure that your parents and families who are here with you today, in their wisdom, would agree with that. You'll never find purpose, joy, if your sole purpose is to make a lot of money. Changing the world or changing the world around you is what will bring you satisfaction and purpose. So how did my career end up? One thing that I always told myself with Professor Chemerinsky's charge constantly in mind was there will always be opportunities to change the world, whether in your company, your law firm, with your clients, in your communities, with those who you network, and with your families and friends. So I frequently say, if the only people with the attitude of changing the world all went to work for public interest or pro bono work, we would have no one in corporations, we'd have no one in law firms, we'd have no one in government with that same spirit. We need people in all stations of life in society with that attitude. So when I was a young associate, for example, I volunteered to do pro bono work with United Way. But more importantly, I always tried to find ways to reward and make life better for those around me, especially our support staff, secretaries, paralegals, clerks, because they work just as hard as us associates, but were excluded traditionally from the segregated and hierarchical structures of the law firms. And so as young associates, we work really hard in ways to make them feel included, valued, appreciated for their roles. Helping others who may feel excluded, if you help others who may feel excluded, you will change the world. You will change their worlds. And as I became more senior, I became involved with numerous organizations, including social service nonprofits, and used my then expanding network of clients, contacts, and friends to bring attention to those missions. So use your positions, your contacts, your experience to change the world. Be a great mentor. Then when leading Reed Smith's business and finance department, I was intentional to monitor the promotions of women, people of color, LGBT to the partnership. Finally, as a senior partner of our firm, I was asked to lead our DE&I program. And as much time as I spend improving the lives and opportunities of our diverse population, I'm truly focused on trying to help drive progress through the entire legal profession, whether through its programming, podcasts that I have, collaborations, partnerships, webinars, seminars, and the like. So when I graduated from Gould 35 years ago, there was no job called Chief Diversity Officer, and the phrase DE&I wasn't even invented. So my point is, keep your eyes open. Keep your minds open to new opportunities, and you'll always have that opportunity to change the world. So our profession, the legal profession, we have a long way to go, certainly. But if everyone can take this approach of helping others, changing the world, our profession has a solid trajectory and a sense of hope and progress. One person at a time. Now look around us. There are 600, maybe 1,000 people here today. You alone, you have the power to make our change our world, whether it's here in the US or wherever your countries you may go to. I also volunteer with USC, as Bob mentioned, as Professor Rasmussen mentioned. So my advice is stay connected to USC, lifelong and worldwide. For those who are international students, through USC, I've had the opportunity to make meaningful connections and friendships with Trojans all around the world, including Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Mexico, England, India, Singapore, Dubai, just to name a few. So you're Trojans now, and as part of the Trojans family, it'll always give back to you. So over the years, my wife and I, my wife Eva is over here. Eva and I have mentored students and fellow alumni. We funded scholarships and we supported our university. And in the leadership roles I've held here at USC, I've pushed for more diversity in our representation. When I was chair of the Gould board 2 years ago, no, for 2 years, I was really proud that we appointed 7 new members of the board, 5 of whom were women and 4 of whom were people of color. And that goal is to make the Gould board more representative of the students and communities we serve. And similarly, I'm really proud that as the Alumni Association Board of Governors president, this year, for the first time in USC history, the Board of Governors is a majority women and 48% people of color or LGBT. Again, reflecting the students and the communities we serve. So, as you grow your career, as you take on more leadership roles, as your networks will expand, as you gain experience, you will have countless opportunities to make a difference, to change the world. Whatever your passion is, motivation, or purpose is, find it, cultivate it, pursue it, and never stop believing that you can change the world. And that is what will bring you satisfaction. That is what will bring you joy and purpose. So in sum, when I was sitting back in your seats, I had no idea how I was going to change the world. But our work together is just beginning. All 1,000 of us here today. So congratulations, graduates. I really look forward to witnessing the amazing, amazing accomplishments that you will do in the future to change the world. Of course, it truly puts into meaning those 2 words we Trojans so frequently say, fight on.
Thank you, John. That was great. Now, before we confer the degrees, I would like to take a moment to thank the staff and volunteers who worked so hard to put on this great celebration. They started working before the main commencement ceremony began, and they're still working now, and they're going to be working, after you're all leaving, having dinner. This event requires enormous amounts of effort and collaboration. If you pass by anyone on the team in the USC Gould t-shirts on your way out, please thank them. So please join me right now in giving them a round of applause. It is now my pleasure to introduce Associate Dean Misa Shimotsu. Dean, yeah, you can clap. Dean Shimotsu manages the operations of our LLM program, as well as our graduate and international degree and non-degree programs. She will acknowledge the degrees that each of you has earned.
Thank you, Professor Rasmussen. Graduates, please stand. On behalf of the faculty and administration of the Gould School of Law, we acknowledge the degree conferred upon you by the University of Southern California. Congratulations, graduates. You may be seated.
Now is the time to confer the degrees. Members of our staff, may I ask that you please take your places so we can begin the procession. Graduates, each of you will come to the stage to get your diploma. We will be conferring the following degrees: our Masters of Studies in Law, Master of Laws in Alternative Dispute Resolution, Master of Dispute Resolution, Master of Laws in International Business and Economic Law, Master of Laws in Privacy Law and Cybersecurity, Master of International Trade Law and Economics, and our Master of Laws degrees.
Leticia Franco.
Rose Torres.
Gina Wooder. Juliana Syriac.
Christopher Urun. Jennifer French. Nina Young.
Colette Peterson. Austin Bullock.
Angelica Maria Hernandez.
Latasha Monique Delgado. Jacqueline Ochoa. Gabriel Estrada. Danielle Nunley.
Paril Patel.
Sheena Sharice Todd. Rashonda S. Turner Jessup. Chelsea Wiltshire. Alin Morswala.
Shahad Babood. Michael Tanner Cusamano. Mallory Ruth. Michael Tanner Cusamano. Yara Misto. Blanca Gabriela Villa. Christy May Morishige.
Orlando Marin.
Shisam Anemeje. Teresita Gamino.
Irma Edith Hernandez. Astrid Anaya.
Catherine Jameson Morris.
Go, Myra. Walk.
Myra Aparicio.
Walk.
Magali Zavala. John Kevin Sykes.
Sharon Yvette Moore.
John Kevin Sykes.
Rubina Upreti. Hanan Al-Barak. Minju Kong. Sloan Taryn Silverberg.
Keep walking, Brandon. Walk, Brandon.
Brandon Huang.
Esteban Angeles.
Abdelaziz Al Mahmoud.
Simon Alyssa,
Stacy
Stacy
Hill.
Ladre Hill,
Christopher Scher, Damari Franklin, Amara West, Talia Sherman,
Ayana Williams,
Mara Alsayeg,
Yes.
Hazim Hijli, Kennedy Witt,
Benjamin Gebauer, Ana Gabriela Preciado,
Doris Epton, Lilia Martirosian, Jeanette Verbera,
Peyton K. Hansen,
Wen Yi Xiang,
Bailey, I don't know who's up next.
Jose Zelaya, Luis Eduardo Fuller,
Jessica Cho,
Toya Rajay Hasaya Welch, Wei Jiang Ma,
Yu Han Wei,
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
Agnieszka Simon, Monica Gangu,
Keep walking.
Anne Elizabeth Legason, William Michael Paoli,
Now, yeah.
Christina Akiona,
Yes.
Kimberly Monreal, Grace Shin,
Keep walking.
Edwin Giovanni Oliva, Andrew Wright,
Yes.
Musima Tema,
Keep walking.
Julia Tebow Sacramento,
Yanara Portero, Nicholas Saletti,
Denise Rivera Reyes, Dr. Suzanne Hyrie,
Samer Aleti,
Daniel David McCullough, Tiara Johnson, Krissa Lucas,
Keep walking, Alan.
Alan Levitt,
Yes.
and Janet Monet.
Keep walking.
Tyquise Monet, Hai Xiao Li, Xiaoyun Zheng, Niece Michelle Cortez,
Yes.
John Esparza,
Jaden Go, Vicky Schiff, Gabriela Vallejo,
Sabrina Zarifi, Majd Abu Habib, Ashif Ehsan,
Mishashki.
Federica Vitale,
Lorenzo Rovini, Prashasti Agrawal, Jayton Gulia,
Alexander Kunselman, Jared Gonzalez, Alyssa Christine Lund, Shira Deborah Matsuzawa, Alyssa Benavides,
Heidi Barrera, Farbud Noranina Jaffe, Pamela Isa Silva Fajuri,
Violetta S. Schultz,
Carmen Maria Teresa Mejia,
Keep walking. Bailey, tell them to walk. Yes, William.
Andres Jose Trujillo Gongora,
Keep walking, William.
William Osorio,
Courtney Ho, Jessica Echeravia,
Donald Lorette, Isabel Blackwell,
Yes.
Shruti Kale,
Arij Badr Abbasi, Michelle Oduro,
Austin Martin Lemon, Zoe Renee Dotson,
Susanna Prue,
Zoe Philadelphia Cossack,
Sakshi Kansal,
Vyumi Chandi, Karishma Karnik,
Muhaya Nusirova, Nelly Davtian,
Raquel R. Javier,
Vanessa Marie Perez, Quan Wei Lin, Andres Quiroga Roldan, Tiffany Mu Tianyuan Gao,
Tiana Luz Vela,
Jamie Vang, Yesley Ramirez Gonzalez, Harrison Cho, Lorenzo Fortunato, Nicole LaRue, Katie Lynn Borquez, Sandra Para, Ibrahim Ati,
Emily Cup. It's not on. Emily Caparoso.
Mohammed Faisal Daoud,
Not on.
Faisal bin Hussein, Yi Hua Chen, Catherine Mack, Alexander Knopfall, Majd Al-Jabrin.
Romeo Sarchioli Jr. Michael Dueñas.
Alicia Michelle Wonderly. Claudia Siroaniak. Anit Grewal. Aria Catherine Sagara Singh. Andrea Jenneret Jasper.
Svetlana Sergieva.
Volodymyr Baskakov.
Tro Manuelian. Ting Wei Xu.
Young An Xiao. Ivy Kim.
Brahajit Kaur. Halei Kori.
Kristen Nicole Jones.
Shi Jingyao.
Lauren Pataki.
David Allen.
Dominic John DeMarco. Shan Shan Han.
Bijana Garcia.
Lakeisha Holloman Leonard.
Denise Rohrig. Ariel Desiree Fawcett.
Jose Adrian Gaspar.
Jonathan Chien. Lisbeth Medina Oliveira.
Hamid Abdul Karim Al Ghamdi.
Karine Georgievan. Pinke Zhang. Latifa Aldamash. Giomaria Quispe Apasa. Abdullah Al-Harbi.
Carlos Alfeg.
Maria Pavlova.
Ksenia Kanoyan.
Anatoly Trembak. Ayana Zandikieva. Maksat Aukhadiev.
Astrid Chavanjian.